Hi, hello, what's up, guys? Welcome to the new session of MATLAB Tutorial 1. In this session, we are going to discuss about the following concepts. So, let's start our session, right? Go. So, let's start our session. First tutorial on MATLAB. First, what does mean MATLAB? We are studying now, right? First, without knowing the definition of MATLAB, how you are going to learn the MATLAB, correct, right? First, we should understand that the term MATLAB. What does it mean? What is it exactly? And how you are going to use each and every component in the MATLAB, and that and all we'll going to see in the session in detail. And first we see what is MATLAB. MATLAB is nothing but matrix laboratory. That's it, right? Mat represents matrix. Lab represents laboratory. That's it. Wherever you are performing the matrix operation, that lab is called matrix laboratory. That's it, right? So now let's look into this. Now, what is we are going to learn in today's session? That and all in showing here. In today's session, we are going to see what is the main components involved in the MATLAB online software. That is nothing but what are the tools, which tool is going to use for which one, and what are the tools, and what is the help command used in the command prompt. And also, we are going to use how to perform the basic all arithmetic, mathematical, and related physical quantities operations in the MATLAB. That is also we are going to see in today's session itself. And also we are going to see about what is matrix. The term itself is saying, right, MATLAB. In MATLAB we are going to discuss about matrixing. So in matrices we are going to discuss about the row matrix, column matrix, how to define, how to evaluate, how to initialize the variables in row matrix, or how to define the column matrix, how to do a transpose of a matrix and inverse of a matrix, how to define and how to show the identity matrix, null matrix, that and all we are going to see. And also we are going to perform a small basic operations of some mathematical equations like distance velocity calculation, acceleration calculation. If initial velocity and final velocity given, what is the acceleration? If acceleration and initial velocity is given, then what is the final velocity? All that and all we are going to see in this session. So, why you are waiting, right? So, let's look into the first in tools description and help command, how you are going to use in command prompt. So this is the interface of MATLAB Online 2020, what we are currently running this one. So in this one, first we are going to see about what are the tools we have in MATLAB. So this is the new script. Whenever you are going to write a set of codes, then you need to use a set of codes in that particular block, and then after that entire code completion, after that you need to evaluate. Then if you want to write the code and store in this one, then you need to use script file. This is also same, but you are at a time you are going to run this. Here new, if you want to create a new script, new live script, or any function you want to upload, or live function, any class you want, any figure, any app, in some higher applications like machine learning, artificial intelligence, if you are using, right, then you need to use some apps like linear regression tool, any some tools are there that you are going to install and you need to use. And here upload file is there. If you want to upload any documents, any excel sheet data or anything, images, you need to upload through this upload section. Then you, if you want to find any file, if you are previously saved, that you are going to find this one, go to file by typing on search bar. If you want to go that particular file, you will go using that one. And import data, if you want to import any excel sheet or anything, you need to use this import data. Here you are seeing this entire space, white blank is there now, it is called command prompt. Wherever you are going to write the commands, and codes set of codes, and this is workspace. Whatever you are initializing the variables or anything that you are going to see or that are visible in workspace. And if you are naming or any live scripts or anything that you are uploaded or downloaded or anything you are imported, that will be easily available in the current folder. And favorites, if you are make anything as favorite, then you are using favorite options. And clear commands, if you want to clear the commands, you need to use that one. And similarly is a software you are going to use particular application that you are going to see in the upcoming sessions. And the layout, what is the layout you want, and preferences, parallel ads on, this and all you are going to see learn in the future lectures. So first, CLC, this is a command. CLC, this is used for clear the command prompt. Whenever you are writing any code, first you should write this one and clear all. Clear all is nothing but if you have any data present in the workspace before, then it will be cleared. It is not affect the whatever you are performing. So to avoid the error occurring in the present executing code, to remove and to avoid the mistakes, so it means that how you are saying errors, right? How you are going to it means, if you are initializing a variable, I am initializing a variable a is equals to 10. With the same variable I am going to initialize a is equals to Ravi. Then when you are performing the addition operation or anything, it the compile it itself will confuse that whether I am going to give a value as 10 or a value as Ravi. So to avoid the confusion of compiler, you need to clear before the all the variables when you are performing the previous operation. So these two will be mandatory. Okay. Then if you want to perform the addition operation, then you will going to use a code is a is equals to I am assigning a variable a, so a is equals to 2 plus 3. So simply by clicking enter button, you will going to get a is equals to 5. If you have created any variable in the command prompt or this screen, then that variable is going to be visible in the workspace, right? If you see here, if you are not creating anything, okay, let me check. Okay, wait, let me check. 2 plus 3 is equals to, if I'm without initializing anything, if I'm going to evaluate means 2 plus 3, then there is a by default answer is a built-in function that will give the result. Okay, this is clear. So in this way you need to perform the simple arithmetic, logical operation, mathematical simple operations. Now I'm going to tell some of the operations which I am telling in the previous slides, right? So in this session, what we are going to discuss, that is matrix operation. The main agenda of our MATLAB is matrix. How you are going to define a row matrix and how you are going to define a column matrix. For that, first we should write a command. That is nothing but row matrix. Okay, how you are going to define a row matrix? So I am taking a variable x is equals to square brackets in square brackets 1 2 3. If I am going to execute, what you are going to get, let me enter. So if you are not specifying anything without comma, instead of that you will specify this also. Here if you comma, if you specify comma, then this will also will give the row matrix. Okay na? Or if you are specifying each element with comma, then it will give a row matrix. But if you are specifying each element by semicolon, what will happen? Let me check. So then, okay, sorry, I am entering semicolon instead of that. What will happen? So if you are separated each element by semicolon, then it will give row matrix. Then if you are, it will give the column matrix. When you are specifying each element, separating each element by comma, then it will give the row matrix. Now I am individual, I am combining those two and I am entering a 3 cross 3 matrix. Wait for that. And I am going to print a 3 cross 3 matrix with the help of MATLAB. So how it is going to looking like? Have you observed, right? So x is equals to I am 1 2 3 semicolon 4 5 6 semicolon 7 8 9. So whenever you are specifying semicolon up to that element, it will take as row. After the semicolon, it will redirected to next path. So in this way, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. In this way, it will give you the row matrix and column matrix of a 3 by 3 column matrix. Have you understand, right? With this clear, right? How you are going to create a row matrix and column matrix. Now I am going to tell how to transpose a matrix. How to transpose a matrix. Now I have been already entered a matrix, right? So if I want to transpose that matrix, so let me, I am assigning that variable y is equals to x. If I want to transpose that particular element, then put apostrophe on the top. Then let me execute this one. So if you see, right, transpose means whatever the row that will be converted into column, whatever the column that will be as converted into row. So here in x, I am transporting x that will be assigned to y. So whatever 147, here it is column, here you will see 147 as a row. So 258, 258 as a column, 258 as a row. 369 as a column, 369 as a column. In this way, you will going to be executed transpose of a matrix in MATLAB. So till now we learned how to initialize and how to create a matrix and how to transpose a matrix, right? So now I am going to do a little bit more extension of this one. So how to perform the matrix addition, matrix subtraction, matrix multiplication, that and all we are going to see. Now I am taking a variable z and I am going to add I am performing matrix addition. So if I perform the matrix addition, then it will give the z value here. If you are end, while you are writing the code, if you are specifying the semicolon at the end, then it will not going to print the result in the command prompt, but the variable will be stored in the workspace. Make sure that if you want to display the output in the command prompt itself, you don't specify the semicolon. But if you are don't want, if you are want to specify the, or if you want to display the data in the command prompt, then you no need to specify the semicolon at the end. So here it is, matrix addition is performed. Let me check whether it is performed correctly or not. So x plus y, 1 plus 1 it is 2, 2 plus 4 6, 3 plus 7 10. So it is absolutely correct. Now I am going to perform the same operation as subtraction. So let me check. So it is performed exactly correct. 4 minus 6 minus 2. Okay. So I am going to print do with the same matrix multiplication. Matrix multiplication. So in this way, matrix multiplication is there. In matrix multiplication, two steps are there: element by element multiplication and matrix multiplication. Those two are different. If you want to multiply the element by element matrix multiplication, then you need to put dot star. Then it will go into print multiply element by element, 1 into 1, 2 into 2, 3 into 3. In this way it is going to perform. Let me check this result also. So in this way it is going to be evaluated. Okay. Next, what is there? Inverse of matrix, or how to define the identity matrix. If you are specifying a 1 cross 1, an identity matrix of 3 cross 3, then you need to specify in this way, ones of 3 comma 3. It means that 3 by 3 matrix of all ones. If you want to print, if you want to display a null matrix or identity matrix, then EYE of 3 cross 3. Then it will going to print identity matrix which is having upper triangle matrix 0, lower triangle matrix 0, and all the triagonals will be 1. In this way identity matrix is going to be print. Okay, and what else we are going to discuss? In this way we are going to discuss and the trigonometric functions. If you want to display the trigonometric value in terms of degrees, you need to use, simply you will use, let me write tan 45. Then what is the value you are going to print? I am not specifying the degrees, right? So that's why it is came like this. If you want to display in terms of degrees, then tan dx, it is a usual notation. You need to give any value tan dx. Then the degrees value of tan sorry tan 45 is 1. So anything you want to display in terms of degrees, you need to use as sin d, tan d, cos d. So if you want to display the output of a trigonometry function according to the angles wise, then you need to use tan d, sin d, cos d, or a simple mathematical calculation to calculate the simple interest. What is the formula of simple interest, right? PTR by 100, right? So whenever you want to perform the simple operations of this simple interest, you need to define each and every variable like p is equals to something, t is equals to something, r is equals to something. For example, I am taking 10,000 and 30 and r value as 2%, and simple interest is equals to p into t into r by why you are using dot here. Dot is representing element by element. It has to divide everything by element, so that's why I have been taken dot by. So in this way, simple interest is going to be finite. In upcoming session, we are going to discuss in more about mathematical relations like partial fractions, non-linear equations, and that and all we are going to see. And one more thing, we are being from now onwards. At the end of the video, we are going to tell one fact about the universe. Let's wait for that.